here. Today, I want to address a topic that's been coming up a lot lately, and that is my body weight. Everyone seems very concerned about the fact that I haven't put on any weight this past year, and they all want to know, am I ever going to gain any freaking weight? Well, the short answer is no. At least, probably not anytime soon. And I have several reasons for that. Let's start with the first and foremost. A lot of people seem to think that I'm too small, and they really want me to know just how small I am. In fact, they come on my channel just to tell me that I am really fucking small. I guess either as a means of insinuating that my advice is shitty because it didn't make me into an ultra-large person, or simply to try to make me feel bad about myself. I don't really know. The thing about that is, there's a whole hell of a lot of insecurity in the lifting community. Most people start lifting because they're insecure with themselves in the first place, for one reason or another. And most gym bros never seem to be able to evolve past that stage. I think the Bro Science dude made a joke about that in one of his videos before. And I'll admit that I used to be a little insecure about my body as well in my teen years. But I'm not any longer. I grew out of it. Whether that was due in part to strength training or simply would have happened regardless is anyone's guess. But I don't possess one iota of a lick of insecurity with myself. It makes me laugh when people come on my channel just to tell me I'm small because, well, I never proclaimed to be big, did I? Strong, yes, but big? Not really. So they're clearly projecting their own insecurities and feelings of inadequacy onto me. And here's the thing. I have supreme confidence in my own abilities and appearance. I'm completely happy with the way my body looks, and I'm fully aware of what I'm capable of accomplishing, both physically and mentally. And thus, I don't feel the need to balloon up in size in order to propel myself up some arbitrary social hierarchy that only exists in your head. You want to know how you can tell if someone isn't a fucking alpha? They use the word alpha, and they aren't being ironic. So please, stop imposing your beliefs and your insecurities and your feelings of inadequacy onto me. I'm perfectly content with myself the way I am, and that includes my body weight. The next reason people cite is for a performance increase. They think that if I put on 40 pounds of body weight, that I'll be able to squat more, bench more, become a better power lifter, or whatever. And they may be right in that regard, but that's a myopic viewpoint that assumes that I'm a one-dimensional athlete who only has one singular goal, and that is maximal strength at the expense of all else. But that's simply not true. There was a small period of time where I focused all my efforts on maximizing my powerlifting total. But it was just a brief stint and nothing more. My first 6 or so years in the gym always included a mix of strength training, power training, and training like an athlete, as well as actually participating in sports concurrently. And these days, my training is still similar to what it was in the beginning. Powerlifters have no need of doing vertical jumps, or high pulls, or hang snatches, or push presses, or sled drags, or farmer's carries, or medicine ball work. Yet, in recent videos, you can see me doing all of those things. So, either you think I have no idea what I'm doing, or it should be pretty clear that my goals extend far beyond the idea of merely maximizing the amount of weight I can squat, bench press, and deadlift. I also want to be able to run fast, jump high and far, be agile and light on my feet, and possess a base of conditioning that allows me to partake in whatever random activity strikes my fancy at any given time, while also being able to run through walls if I choose to. Athlete strong is the term that's guided me for the last decade. To me, that's the epitome, and that's pretty much always been my aim. So, would I choose to add 200 pounds or even 300 pounds to my powerlifting total if it meant losing my ability to move as well as I do? Not a snowball's chance in hell. And my final reason for not gaining weight has to do with the fact that I've already gained a hell of a lot of weight. I guess most people don't know this because I've never really cataloged my lifting journey from day one to today. Excuse me. But when I started lifting weights, I was about 19 years old and I weighed about 115 pounds. By the time I was 22, I was up to 170 pounds. And since then, I've basically fluctuated between 155 and 165 pounds over the years. Sometimes a bit leaner and sometimes a bit fluffier, but always making slow and steady progress in some fashion or another. If we compare pictures of me from even just a few years ago to today, you can see that I'm much bigger and more muscular now than I was back then. So even though I haven't really gained much scale weight over the last few years, I've actually still added a good bit of muscle onto my frame. Another thing to consider is that at this point, I'm nearing the stage where I'm simply almost tapped out. I've been doing this for a long time now, and there comes a point where without the use of assistance, the body is simply going to refuse to continue to add muscle, especially on a relatively modest frame like mine. I can tell you that I am leaner now today, weighing 155 or 160 pounds, than I was when I weighed 115 pounds 10 years ago. When you look at it from that perspective, over the last decade, I've added anywhere from 40 to 45 pounds, or possibly even slightly more, of pure muscle tissue to my frame over the course of my training career. That's really nothing to sneeze at, and I would wager that most natural guys who lift never actually accomplish this. They may think they've added 50 pounds of lean mass, but their physique and body fat percentage indicates otherwise. So it's quite possible that I've just about reached my natural frame limit. Now I can obviously force weight gain. I've done it before, but forcing your body to do something, whether it be gaining weight or losing it, never seems to accomplish the goal as efficiently or fully as coaxing it does. When you force weight gain, you end up gaining mostly fat. When you force weight loss, you end up losing too much muscle. Both are inevitable. But when you coax your body by stacking the deck in your favor and then simply nudging it in the direction you want it to go, you not only end up lean and muscular, but you also end up being able to maintain that state effortlessly. Anyone who knows me will tell you I have a very healthy appetite. I love eating and I don't skimp on my food. But the thing is, I don't have to try to maintain this state. People always want to know what my diet is like and how I stay so lean all the time, as if I'm actively doing something to keep my body weight down and keep the fat off. But I'm simply not, I promise you. The truth of it is, I train hard and I train consistently, and I've spent the last decade putting a lot of muscle onto a relatively small frame. And those things afford me the ability to not only eat a hell of a lot of calories in a day, much more so than your average person, but also to be pretty lax with my diet overall and not really suffer any noticeable repercussions for it. I basically eat whatever the hell I want and actually have to overeat to the point of a slightly uncomfortable fullness in order to stop myself from losing weight. The only thing I avoid categorically is desserts. Cake, candy, cookies, pastries, muffins, whatever. Anything with a lot of processed sugar, carbs, and fat all in one triple whammy. And really, physique goals aside, nobody should ever eat any of those things anyway regardless, because they're essentially slow-acting poison and you're not 8 years old anymore. But I digress. So anyway, long story short, I've always let my body dictate the course, and that's allowed me to slowly add nearly 50 pounds of pure muscle tissue to my frame over the years. If my body doesn't want to add more weight at this point, then I'm not going to force it to add more weight simply for the sake of being heavier, because that won't end up being quality weight, and it will inevitably have an adverse effect on my quality of movement, my power to weight ratio, potentially my cardiovascular system, and ultimately it will hinder my other goals. So I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. At the present moment, I have no need or desire to bulk up and add significant amounts of body weight. I may make that a point again in the future, but it's not a priority of mine right now. If, however, my body allows me to continue slowly adding pure muscle mass for a few more years, then I'm certainly not going to complain about that. Anyway, that's all I got for now, guys. Please be sure to like the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and definitely leave me some love in the comments down below. Keep training hard, and I will catch you guys next time.